Your dream needs to be driving your actions. It's so good and it's so true. This is the truth. Oh, it's fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. So, what about yesterday? Share with me. Tell me how you felt about yesterday's call. So, I helped you to understand how most people are practicing an identity, a script that doesn't serve them. And to give yourself permission to step into possibility, to step into that version of yourself right now, not when you move into a new place, not when you have more time, like right now in this very, very moment. Oh, I love that, Angie. I know I had so much fun with the visualization. I had a blast. Okay. So Elise says, understanding that expansion isn't necessarily easy, but if you want to grow, you move through it. I love this so much, Elise. I cannot tell you how many people come into my world and think that once they say yes, I'm going to change. I'm going to show up. I'm going to be the wealthiest, happiest, most fulfilled version of myself, that we think it's going to be easy. And there are lots of moments where that is true, but there are also a lot of moments where that isn't true. Why? Now all of you are understanding why. And we talked about that on day one. We talked about that on day one. And we've got just a couple little glitchy things happening. So give me patient. Please be patient while I figure this out here. Our identity is a habit. Jamie. And when we say it like that, Jamie, our identity is a habit of patterns, then it kind of makes sense to us. Oh, okay. The way that I think is a habit. The way that I feel is the habit. The actions that I take, the actions that I don't take are a habit. It's not just, I used to think habits were, me going outside and walking every day. And yes, that is a habit of behavior, but I didn't realize that there were so many, that the way that I think and felt and acted was a habit. And once I understood that, and that's why Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, I loved that book. I was like, I got it. It made so much sense to me. Hi, Olga. I looked today at my bank account, and instead of dictating how it used to make me feel, I chose to say to myself, I choose to live right now in the most prosperous, happy, healthy, connected life. Oh, Olga. Powerful. Powerful. And so, Olga, I want to invite you to continue to practice this, to continue to see beyond the number, to continue to be in the energy of possibility. And this is all of us, beautiful souls, because what we do is we react to our circumstances. We react to our environment and we say, because my circumstances, my bank account says this, that's my reality. Right? So good. It's such an honor for me to be here hanging out with everybody, to have you in my energy, in my world, because this is what I love. I love to teach. I love to share because I don't want you to be stuck. for another 6 months, for, another year, to be in the same spot where you were a year before. And it's not that there's anything wrong with you being in the same spot. It's just that if you want more in your life, then these are the steps that we must take in order to change our identity. And just really quickly, um, where do you think our identity was formed? Where do you think our identity was formed? And I know some of you know this, like the bottom of your, you know, you just know this. Parents, churches, teachers. Yes, 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 yes. That is correct, Angie. We learned our identity. Yep, Beth's got it right. Childhood. Does that make sense? We learned to be this way. And then we get to, undo it, if you want to say that. We get to rewire it, if you want to say it in that way, release it, let it go, become whatever, whatever the language is for you. It's just so exciting. So, so exciting. Okay. So beautiful souls. Here we are ready to dive into day 3. And I would love to know, we're going to talk about emotional patterns. And again, there is no right or wrong, but I would love to know if you know what an emotional pattern is. Yeah. So I think what Angie is saying is that she essentially had to learn that there are parts of her that she no longer wants to be. There are parts of her that she no longer wants to be. Okay, thank you. Yep. Angie says, that's it. That's it. That's it. Yeah. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we're going to do some journaling today. But again, when you have light bulb moments, please, please, please share them in the chat. And at the end of today's call, I'm just going to ask you to share with me your biggest takeaway from today. And so, have you loved the challenge so far? Have you been having as much fun as I have been? I want to share with you that tomorrow is our final day, if you can believe it. And then the party's not over. Beautiful souls will be hanging out on Saturday. I'm going to be doing a live inside of the Facebook group at 12 o'clock. And on Saturday, we're going to talk about money. Money, money, money. We're going to talk about detaching from money. And the reason why I'm going to have this conversation with you all is because I used to be so attached to money. So that's happening on Saturday at 12 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then we're going to announce the big winner on Saturday. So please, come and hang out with me. And I'm also going to do a live on Sunday. And the live on Sunday is going to be looking at your root causes with wealth and success. So why you aren't having more of it. And I know we're talking about it here, but there's only so many topics I can teach about during the 4 days. And today when I was looking at, some of the bullet points on my agenda, I'm like, oh, I wanted to talk about this and I wanted to talk about that. Okay. So how many of you woke up today feeling wealthy, feeling successful, feeling limitless, feeling like you're unstoppable, the wealthiest version of yourself? Oh, yay! Yay, Beth! Yay! And this is a big deal, souls, beautiful souls. I almost said super souls. I was talking about Oprah earlier today and her Super Soul Sunday. This is a big deal, Beth and Carmen, because when I wake up in the mornings, I wake up in the morning as the version of myself that I desire to be. That's the first thing that's on my mind. And then the other thing, and I was just talking about this in one of my programs is called the Portal. It's the Open to Receive portal. And I was just talking about how when I wake up in the energy of the version of myself that I desire to be, I must remind myself that the past does not exist. The past does not exist. So congratulations. Housekeeping really quickly before I jump into teaching. I want to share with you that the replays are available inside of the Facebook group, but only for a limited amount of time. Also in the emails, don't forget to check your spam because a lot of my emails go there. But there also are the replays that are available to you in the emails if you're not, on Facebook very often. So don't forget, we're going to do some coaching at the end of today. There are prizes. So just by participating, stepping outside of your comfort zone, taking action, I have prizes that I'm giving away. So I just want to say that this is my way of dangling the carrot to get people to take the uncomfortable action. All right, let's talk about emotions. And what if I told you that your emotions, the way that you feel, what if I told you that your emotions, not the strategy, okay? Because people think, and a strategy can be moving. I was working with a gentleman who was a part of the last cohort of Unstoppable You Now. And he had talked about how his apartment that he was living in felt so confined. And his strategy, and I was like, but can't you still be free regardless of where you are? So your strategy could be in your mind thinking that you need a new place, you need a new job, you need a new career, you need a new husband. I don't know, I'm just kidding. A new partner. But what if I told you that your emotions, the way that you feel, are the real reasons why you may not be where you want to be in your life? And what if I told you that many of us are addicted to the struggle of life, to it being hard, to scarcity, to lack? And maybe you've heard this before, especially if you follow Dr. Joe Dispenza. I did not know I was addicted to lack. I didn't know it. It was just the only way I was. But then once I became aware of being in lack all the time, I was like, why can't I break away from lack? So in the chat, why do you think I couldn't break away from lack? And some of you are going to get this, of course, because you've been hanging out with me for a while. But why do you think I couldn't break away from lack? We're having problems with Facebook, beautiful souls. So thank you for your patience. Yep. It was part of my identity. Absolutely. And I will tell you the other part is that I wouldn't let myself see beyond lack because lack was part of my reality. So guess what I saw all the time? This is what we do. We don't even know that we're doing this. I saw lack. Yep. Olga's, yes. I didn't know what a new script was, but once I started to understand the new script, I was like, I'm going to play full out. I'm going to be all in. All right. We can't get Facebook working. So we'll just move on for right now. So emotional patterns, I want to just describe this to you, and then I want I'm going to have you do some reflection on your patterns. But emotional patterns are these deeply wired responses in your brain and in your nervous system that have been repeating for years. And most of the time, we don't even realize it. They are these automatic reactions, like our beliefs and our behaviors. And what they do is they keep looping through the same struggles, through the same fears, through the same limitations. And so, again, I want you to think of them like a script. All right. Yesterday, we talked about the script of becoming. This is a script that continues to play out for you. It's your brain and your nervous system. So at some point, your nervous system learned that struggle was safe. All right. Now, this doesn't mean you like it. At some point, you learned that your nervous system learned that success is scary. At some point, your nervous system learned that being broke, this was me, was safe. And your nervous system's number one job, beautiful souls, is to keep you safe. And it will sabotage anything that feels like the unknown, any kind of unknown risk, even if the risk is more money, more health, more ease, more flow, more success. Does that make sense? So this is why no matter how hard you try, you could have these big goals, but find yourself procrastinating. Find yourself being distracted. This is what we do. You start making more money, and then only to have like an unexpected expense completely wipe you out. Or maybe you get excited about opportunities, but then you hesitate when it's time for you to take action. Maybe you're the person that constantly second guesses yourself. This used to be me. I'd delete a post. I'd put a post out and then I'd go and delete it. Maybe you're the kind of person that spends hours tweaking everything, never feeling like it's good enough for you to publish. Maybe you're the kind of person that you raise your prices and then you feel guilty or worried that no one's going to pay. Maybe you're the kind of person that you tell yourself that you need another strategy, but deep down, you know that you're just holding yourself back, or another certification. I have worked with people that have had a fear of ease. Okay, I'm going to say it again. A fear of easy. It was unconscious. They had no idea. A fear of joy. But I see it all the time. We have fears around feeling good. We have fears around success. And I will tell you that this isn't about efforting more. This isn't. This is about these emotional patterns that are playing out. And we're going to talk about upper limits today. Your upper limit, your set point. These emotional patterns and your upper limits have been sabotaging you. And you probably don't even realize it. But I want to share with you that after today, things really are going to change for you. So, can any of you relate to this? Oh, Carmen says that was me. Okay, so what I'm going to walk you through today is an experience, and you can, it's like, and I'll talk about more the experience later, but I'm going to walk you through this experience, and you're going to feel this deep sense of confidence, no matter what is happening in your life or in your business. Today, we're going to look at your hidden commitments. I'm going to explain to you what hidden commitments are. We're going to look at your fear, the fear. You could also call it resistance, the fears that are blocking you from your next level. And yes, we already looked at resistance, but we're going to look at it differently from your feelings. And the emotional patterns that are playing out for you that are driving your self-sabotage. So who self-sabotages here? And this, I talked about this yesterday. Many of us know what to do, and we're not doing it. I want you to be able to break free and align with the version of you who attracts wealth, who attracts success without force or fear or burnout. I cannot tell you how many people I see that are burnt out. They're tired. Okay, so what is really causing the fear? What's causing the fear? What's causing the resistance? I want you to be clear on this. I want you to really know what is causing your fears and resistance. Great, Elise. So beautiful. I was an expert at self-sabotage. I know that really well. Espresso. Okay. Olga says, yeah, but what is causing fear of what, Olga? Fear of what? What's causing the fear? What's causing the resistance? Because this is what we do. We go, it's fear. And I say, give me more. Tell me more. Fear of, because we need to know what we're working with. Yeah. Victoria says not being enough. Okay. So typically, what's causing the fear? So Jamie says rejection because, oh, yeah. Yeah. Jamie doesn't want to be rejected. Rich people are bad. So Angie says fear of failure, ridicule, not being good enough. Beth says being proven that everything I'm trying to believe or be, wow, would be proven wrong. So you better believe, if you really believed that, wouldn't you self-sabotage? I mean, that's what's underneath. And many times the resistance or the fear is because you're doing something that you've never done before. You've heard me say it. You've heard lots of people say it. You're stepping outside of your comfort zone. But what does that really mean? That means you're becoming a version of yourself that you've never been. So what are you actually resisting? What are you actually afraid of? I'm going to help you put this into terms in a way that you can totally understand this and be able to digest this. What are you actually resisting? What are you actually afraid of? Yep, Beth's right there. Change, growth, success, Angie says. You want to know what you're resisting, beautiful souls? Your dream. What you really want. So tell me how that lands. This is why we're having this conversation, because I want you to know everything that gets in the way when you decide to be your dream, when you decide to say yes. Yeah. Angie goes, boom. The very thing she wants is the thing that she's resisting. It's unconscious. You're not aware of it. What you are aware of is that you procrastinate, you self-sabotage, you get in your own way. All right. So if you can, I want you to, and I'm not going to stand just because I'll have to move I do have a standing desk, but I don't want to move the mic and everything. But I want you to stand up. Okay. You're going to stand up. I want you to just think about your dream. I want you to shake out if you can, if you're not driving. Okay. So what I want everybody to do, I want you to take in a big, deep breath, and I want you to push out your stomach and hold it at the top. And I want you to think about your dream, your goal, the thing that you desire, happiness, fulfillment. Scan your body. Where do you feel the tension? Go ahead and exhale. Where do you feel the tension in your body when you think about your dream? When you think about the thing that you desire? And maybe your dream is ease. Maybe your dream is happiness. Maybe your dream is to take care of yourself, but I want you to know where you feel it. Ooh, so Angie says shoulders, neck, and a little bit in my gut. Good. Because part of this is knowing where we feel it in our bodies. Okay, great. Beth feels the whatever it is that she feels. in her back and in her gut. Olga says in her belly. I feel it in my belly too. Tightness, contraction. So if you can, I want you to just close your eyes for a moment. And I want you to think about, and this could have been yesterday, but I want you to flash back to a moment where you hesitated on a decision or taking action for your dream, for your goal. And maybe it was calling an attorney. Maybe it was packing up boxes. It could be little, it could be big. It doesn't matter. And you didn't do it. I want you to think about what the emotion, what the feeling was. Emotions come from our brain, but we feel our feelings in our body. What was the feeling? Because we're getting to know our bodies. Our bodies are communicating to us, but most of the time we don't know what it's saying. And now you're getting to know your body. You're getting to know where you feel the resistance, the fear in your body. So can you think about the last time? And can you recognize what the fear is? Guttural. Okay. So this is your physical response to an unconscious belief that you have in your body that your goal isn't safe, that your level of success that you desire is unfamiliar. Okay? It's an unconscious response. It's dysregulation, if you want to use that word. It's maybe feeling like you're in survival mode a little bit because it feels uncomfortable. Your nervous system, your body is fighting to keep you in your familiar. It's fighting to keep you in the same. Even if your familiar is struggle or stuck, your body is reacting to an upper limit. Is that making sense, everybody? Your body is reacting, telling you, Mary Lou, we don't know what it's like to be a multimillionaire. Everybody's having, yes, 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 yes. So I bring this to your attention because I want you to know what's happening in your body. And let's talk about your energy. Are you operating in the energy of fear all day long? You may not even know it. Are you operating in the energy of resistance to your dream all day long? You may not even know it. What energy are you operating in? Because this is what you're creating. The energy that you are operating in. What's your energy? It's your thoughts and your feelings unconsciously. It's your beliefs that are unconscious. That's what's running the show. So how do you know which energy you're in? I'd love for you to guess. How do you know what energy you're in when it comes to your dream? Hopefully you're having fun. I love this. Okay, so let's go ahead and journal. I'm going to pull up here Canva. And screen share. I'm going to help you understand what energy you're in. So, what do you want? What is your goal? What is your dream? What is your vision? Doesn't matter what it is. If it's peace, freedom, money, success, I'm going to give you a minute. Sorry, it's not a long time, but we've got a lot to cover. So I'm going to give you a minute to write about this. Okay. So now let's take a look at the next slide. I want you to take a moment to write down why you don't have it. What are your thoughts and feelings regarding your goal, your vision, your dream? And what do you think you believe? And so I'm going to give everybody a minute and a half. I know it's not a lot of time, but again, we have a lot to cover. Okay. I know that wasn't a lot of time, but was anybody surprised at what they wrote down? Were you surprised by what you wrote down? Okay. So, what I want you to know is that this is what's in your subconscious. This is what is driving you. This is your identity, part of your identity. This is your energy. This is the energy that you're probably in. Now, I'm not saying all day long forever, but when you think about your dream, when you think about your goals, when you think about who you want to be, when you look at your bank account or whatever it is for you, does that make sense? This is your energy. This is how you're showing up in the world unconsciously. But the good news is you're here. We're moving through your upper limits right now. So I want to talk to you about hidden commitments, okay? Because hidden commitments are real. What we're really hidden, what we're really committed to unconsciously, we call them hidden commitments. Hidden commitments keep us from moving past our upper limits. They keep us at our current set point. And hidden commitments, I only really learned about them in the last 2 years. I've heard them talked about differently, but hidden commitments refer to unconscious commitments to a behavior, to a belief, or to an outcome. And what happens is that these unconscious beliefs, behaviors, they conflict with what we say we want, with our desires, with our dream. with our goal. And what I want you to know is every time you make the decision to not do the thing that you know that you should be doing, or you choose to give up, or you choose to hold yourself back, or you choose to play small, or whatever it is for you. And I think it was Carmen that had this, or maybe it was Elise. That means that you're not choosing your dream. What you're choosing is your unconscious commitment, your hidden commitment. And this is governing your life. I learned about this from Dr. Benjamin Hardy. I studied with him in his mastermind, and he wrote, Your future self, 10x is easier than 2x, and become your future self, or something along those lines. So, our hidden commitments, not doing the things that we should be doing to create the outcomes that you want to have in your life, you're choosing your hidden commitment. But now you're learning why you're choosing your hidden commitment. Because your dream is scary to you, because what you want doesn't feel safe. So, of course, unconsciously, you're going to choose your hidden commitment to keep you safe. You are all learning that it's not your fault. It's the way your brain is wired. So, I want you to think about your biggest block. I asked you this on day one. I said, what is your biggest block to wealth or to success or to freedom or to feeling good or whatever it is for you? What is your biggest block to your dream? I know that someone was sharing about being inconsistent in their business. So in the chat, I would love to know. Yeah, so downplaying myself. Yes, being inconsistent. What's your biggest block? Yeah, so Jamie says getting started. Beautiful, Jamie. Managing or harnessing and channeling my energy. Okay, so managing your energy. So your biggest block is typically what you are most committed to unconsciously. This is your hidden commitment. How does it land? Does that make sense? So I had a client who just procrastinated. She had so much potential, but she would not take action. She didn't, it was like, and it kept her broke. It was keeping her broke. And that's the thing. It's like we have procrastination, self-sabotage, imposter syndrome. I mean, whatever else I didn't mention. Most of the time, we don't realize that we're committed to those things. I don't know if it depends on if that serves you. If you're somebody, Olga, she says, does that mean I'm committed to not managing my energy? Probably. I don't know for sure. But if it's serving you, beautiful. If it's not serving you, most of the time, the way that people are managing their energy is they don't want to go beyond a certain point because they're afraid they're going to burn out. They're afraid, and again, it's all those things. And we don't even know that we're still living in the past because that can be different today. But I get it. I understand it. So I want to ask you one question because I want you to understand what you're afraid of. But what I think I'm going to ask you first, in my world, I'm a hypnotist of many things that I do. But we learned about secondary gain. There's some sort of benefit that people get by staying in the same comfort zone, by not taking the action or whatever it is. And we know that your brain is protecting you. We got that. Your brain and your nervous system. If you were here with me on Monday, you learned that. But what are you protecting yourself from? And some of you have already said it. What am I really protecting myself from by not getting started? By trying to manage my energy? It's not bad if it's serving you. I mean, it's not bad anyways, but it's, you know what I'm saying. By being inconsistent. What do you gain? It's unconscious because people go, I'm not getting anything out of it. And I say, just dig here with me. What do you gain by telling yourself the stories that don't serve you? And staying safe from what? Staying in the known. Why? Staying in the comfort zone does what for me? Yes, Beth nailed it. Discomfort. We're going to talk about this. Okay. And I know we're going to go over a little bit. And if this is the session you definitely want to hang out with me on, and tomorrow is going to be incredible too. So you can tell I'm on fire. I just I want you to know what you're really doing unconsciously, because this is going to help you get off the hamster wheel. My parents were immigrants from Mexico and I grew up poor. I was born into poverty. That's all I knew almost my whole entire childhood. I remember being at my elementary school. I was in kindergarten. It was right next to the Salvation Army. And we would go when the Salvation Army closed, we would go to the drop-off location. And that's how we furnished our home. That's how poor we were. My mom always worked two jobs. It's like my stepdad worked at a nursery. I learned early on that there was never enough money, right? But not only did I learn early on that there was never enough money, I remember when the landlord would come to our apartment complex and knock on the door, and my mom would say, tell her I'm not here. So I'd have to open the door and I would have to lie to the landlord. And so not only did I learn that there was never enough money, I also learned to have anxiety when it came to money. Okay. So I'm sharing this with you for a reason. I learned that I had to work my ass off. I mean, we were like 5, 6, 7. I had my first real job in a cannery at the age of 12, working 8-hour shifts because I wanted to go into junior high and have nice clothes, have new shoes, and I knew my mom wasn't going to be able to afford it. I learned to feel a certain kind of way when it came to money. So I want you to think about how you learned to feel about money. And this has nothing to do with whether your socioeconomic class, if you're middle, upper, it doesn't matter. How did you learn to feel about money? Yeah. It was wrong to be better than others. Yes. So Victoria's always trying to make sure that she's exactly where everybody else is. I learned that big bucks were only made by men. Yes. So what's the feeling? Women stay at home. Oof. What's the feeling, Beth? Felt controlled by others with money. Beautiful, Elise. What's the feeling? Money doesn't grow on trees. What's the feeling? Inferiority. Beautiful, Angie. It's not attainable for me, or that I'll never be enough. You can have it one day, but the other, shame, owe to others, lack of control, anxiety, and security. So what I want to share with you is that I know, there are a few of you here on this call that have worked on your money. But for the most part, if you have not really worked on what's unconsciously underneath, what's inside of your body that's unconscious that you're not aware of, these typically are the feelings that you have connected to money. How does that land? So people know that they have limiting beliefs, right? And we also have to look at how that makes you feel. What feelings are you accustomed to feeling when you think about money? When you think about success? When you think about your dream? When you pay your bills? Somebody said, Christine said, like a plane crash. Yes. And then we go, why can't I change my relationship with money? Because this is what we have to address, what's underneath. We're looking at your unconscious dominant feelings when it comes to money and success and freedom and joy and fulfillment. Because if you're like, I'm drawing a blank. If you're like Victoria, she can't be better than other people. So if she hasn't learned to shift that, that's still a belief that she has. This is what we're vibrating at. And our frequency, so this is what we're silently giving off to the universe. It's true, everyone. This is why we've been working on becoming it, but also understanding what gets in the way of us becoming. This is how I really felt. Actually, how I really felt about money, I didn't have just anxiety when it came to money. I hated money. I didn't know that, but that's how I really felt. Because if we had had more money growing up, my mom wouldn't have had to work two jobs. And if my mom didn't have to work two jobs, then I wouldn't have been sexually abused. I hated money. I didn't know that. That's why we're doing this work. So I want to talk to you about an emotional cocktail. I learned this from Dr. Joe Dispenza. Okay. And if you've never heard of an emotional cocktail, these are the feelings that we're most accustomed to feeling, whether we're conscious of it or not, when it comes to money, when it comes to success. So I'm going to just talk to you a little bit about the body, the neurobiology. Don't let your eyes glaze over, but I think most of you will find this fascinating. And inside of our body, we have these chemical messengers that are called peptides, and they're also known as neurotransmitters. And so our body becomes accustomed to regularly receiving the same amount of feelings. Okay. So whatever it is that you are feeling when you think about money, when you think about scarcity, when you think about lack, I want you to know that this is your emotional cocktail. So it doesn't matter to your body if the feelings that you have with money are empowering or disempowering. It doesn't matter. So I want you to know that. So you're here. You want to change your life. You want freedom. You want all the things that you deserve to have. But I want you to know that when you decide to say yes to change, to transformation, to your dream, to whatever it is, that means you're going to have to feel differently. Feel grateful instead of lack. And so our cells register a decreased level of peptides. Another way to say that is a decreased level of feelings. So for me, it was anxiety. I started to change. I started to be in possibility. I started to feel less anxiety, less lack, less shame when it came to money, and all the things, everything else. And so, what I want you to know is that your nervous system will send a signal to your brain and it'll say, hey, brain, hey, Mary Lou's brain, we're low here on some anxiety. We're low on the shame. We're low on our emotional cocktail. Send us some anxiety. Send us some shame. And the brain goes, okay. So the brain will start to look. We dip into the past and we go, remember that time that I failed? Oh, I owe that person money. I owe this person money. Your brain, all of a sudden, your nervous system gets the hit. Your body, when you say yes to change and you stop feeling the feelings that you're used to feeling when it comes to money or success or whatever it is, your body starts to crave those feelings. It starts to crave the doubt. It starts to crave the lack. It starts to crave the shame. So this is happening below your conscious awareness. So your brain goes, okay, nervous system. Okay, body, got it. Let's look for experiences. Let's look for people that are going to trigger that same emotional response that's inside of us. And if there isn't anything external, like let's just say you've got a lot of money in your bank account, let's just say Olga doesn't owe anybody money, then your brain will start to sift through the past, old memories, painful thoughts, patterns, negative beliefs, what you didn't do, shame, regret, whatever it is, so that you get your hit of shame. And what this does, it keeps us trapped. It keeps us trapped in lack, in scarcity, in doubt. And then how it shows up for us, though, we self-sabotage. We don't do the things that we need to do in order to create our dream. But what I want you to know is this has nothing to do with how amazing you are or how amazing you're not. This is neurobiology. This is happening at a cellular level. Our bodies become physiologically addicted to feelings, to feeling the same feelings in order to maintain your sense of safety, your known, your familiar, your comfort zone. All right. How are you feeling? So this isn't just a habit of feeling a certain way about your dream. Your body is addicted to it. Does that make sense? This is why it is so hard for us to change. This is why people keep going back to who they used to be, to those patterns. They fall off the wagon, however you want to say it, because you don't understand what's happening inside of your body. So you don't know. You go, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do this? It is a chemical addiction. And so you have a chemical addiction to scarcity, to lack, to money, to success. Does that make sense? Aw, I'm so glad. Makes me cry and have compassion. That's what I said on Monday. I'm like, we are so hard on ourselves and we don't even know that it's our mind and our body. It's our 3D body. It's our human body. It's neurobiology. Yes, we can have compassion with ourselves. We're so hard on ourselves. Why can't I do it? This is why. If you understand it and still don't change, it's because you're choosing to stay in safety, in your comfort zone, in your familiar. Okay, so what I would love to do, yeah, no problem. What I would love to do is I want to take us on a visualization. because, and this is powerful, and we're going to do another powerful one tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to play music, though. I was having a little bit of problems earlier today, with music playing and being able to hear me. So let's just go ahead if you can. And I want you to close your eyes. And what I want you to do is I want you to take a big, huge, deep breath in, pushing out your stomach and holding it at the top. And exhale. Another big, deep breath in as you push out your stomach and hold it at the top. And exhale. And one more big, deep breath in as you push out your stomach and hold it at the top. And exhale. And I want you to come into your heart space, really dropping into love and compassion and a sense of nourishment, a sense of acknowledging yourself for where you are right now. And as you breathe and as you relax, I want you to know that you are safe. And maybe some of you know this, but allowing your body to feel safe. And so what I want you to do is I want you to imagine warmth around your heart as your heart energy just opens up. And I want you to send this warmth just down your entire body. And maybe it feels like a warm embrace. Maybe safety feels like you're grounded, sending cords down to Mother Earth. And what I want you to do is I want you to imagine that you are in your childhood home. And if you can't remember, you can just make it up. I want you to imagine that you are 6. And again, if you can't remember, just make it up. But I want you to notice what it's like to be 6. And maybe if you're like me, you're smiling. Notice the smells. Notice who's around. And notice what it feels like. And I want you to look around and see if you can find your mom or whoever your primary caregiver was. And just noticing what they're doing. And tuning in to what their relationship was with money. And there's no judgment. We're going to be like a scientist. We're collecting data, we're collecting information. So we're just noticing what their relationship was with money. And then I want you to look around and see if you can find your dad or your primary caregiver, whoever raised you. And what did they teach you about money? And we're getting curious again. We're just collecting information. Maybe you understood or learned that money was for other people. Maybe it's not possible for you. What I want you to do is I want you to take a big, deep breath in as you push out your stomach, holding it at the top. And exhale. And I want you to take a moment to just have gratitude for the insights and the wisdom that came forward. And I want you to tune into your 6-year-old self and see if she or he needs anything from you. And if you feel any tightness, any tension in your body, any kind of activation, just breathe into it with openness and presence and allowing it to be there. And you can offer your younger self loving words, reminding that version of you they're safe. And maybe they want to see what your life looks like. So just let them. Take a moment to show them how you turned out, that everything's okay. And take another big, deep breath in as you push out your stomach and holding it at the top. And exhale. And whenever you're ready, opening your eyes. And welcome back. This is part 1. So, what I want you to do is I want you to grab your pen and your paper. And I want you to write down the information that you discovered or remembered or rediscovered. What your mom or your primary caregiver taught you about money. What your dad or your primary caregiver taught you about money. The feelings with money. So I'm going to give you a moment. Does anybody want to share in the chat? And you don't have to if you don't want to. And the thing is, if you've spent years feeling anxiety or shame or whatever the emotion is for you about money, your body basically has adapted. And this is your baseline. And so when you try to shift into abundance, your system may unconsciously create financial chaos so that you can return to the known feelings of anxiety or shame or stress or whatever it is for you, because this is your familiar. And so you being here today and understanding this, it allows you to interrupt this cycle. Recognizing that your body is craving this emotion, it helps you. And I think you understand that your nervous system is wired to seek familiarity, even if that familiarity means stress, shame, anxiety. You've been conditioned to expect these emotions. This is the emotional pattern, the response. So you've been conditioned to expect these emotions. And when they're missing, your body goes, we have to get our hit, and it will send that message to your brain so that your brain can find situations where you can feel anxiety. And I will tell you, this, what I have taught you today, is not taught in most money programs or abundance or success programs. It's not even discussed. And this is one of the biggest blocks for us. It's not just beliefs. It is our physiological addiction that we have, and we don't even know it. And so I see you. And the truth is, I was you. So what I'd like for you to do, if you can, is I want you to go ahead and close your eyes again. Okay? I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to scan your body and notice what feelings arise when you think about money and where you feel them in your body. And is it tightness? And we're just observing. So what I want you to do is I want you to take a big, deep breath in Pushing out your stomach, holding it at the top. And this time when you exhale, I want you to replace it where you feel it now in your body. I want you to replace it with confidence, trust, safety, whatever it is for you. So go ahead and exhale. Replacing that feeling. And maybe it's ease or flow. And I want you to continue to breathe. Vagus nerve breathing, breathing in and pushing out your stomach. Exhaling whenever it feels good to you. Continuing to breathe in this new feeling and allowing your body to expand. We're creating your new normal right now. We're retraining your body to expect this feeling instead of what it was. And as you continue to breathe, I'm here to remind you that your dream is effing meant for you. That you are not your past. You are not bound by anything that's happened in the past or in your childhood. As you continue to breathe this new feeling into your body, you are rewriting your story in your body right now. So I want you to choose this. Choose to feel safe. Choose to feel abundant. Choosing this creates your new emotional set point with money. So take a big, deep breath in. And exhale. And go ahead and open your eyes. We just created your new emotional reality. So tell me, what emotion are you leaving behind? And what emotion are you effing claiming? Yay, Jamie! Yay! Leaving behind anxiety, claiming ease. I claim deserving. Yes. 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 Overwhelmed to confident. Yes. We are all meant for so much more. And most people think that they have to change the outside world, in order to create a different reality. But that's not true. When I stopped looking at my bank account with anxiety and started trusting that the money was going to flow, I saw payments faster. When I stopped hustling from a place of fear, showing up today in my power. I'm talking to thousands of people right now. That's how I show up. That is my energy. When I stop trying to prove my worth, has to be the best. I have to have the best content. I have to teach the best information. I was trying to prove that I was good enough. No, I show up as my badass, authentic self, anchored into a feeling of worthiness. When I let go of trying to fix myself, maybe that was you, I don't know. I started celebrating who I am. I started celebrating my business, my life, exactly where it was. And I had just gotten sober and I blew up my effing life. 15 years I struggled with an alcohol addiction. So it was so hard for me to celebrate who I was, and it made all the difference in the world. Celebrating exactly where I was in that moment, shifting from what didn't work, what I didn't have, to it's happening. This is better than I could even ever imagine. And I remember when I hit my first 30K, my first 50K, my first 100K months, I've had 4 of them. It was like life changing. I want 100K consistent months. And before that, I could barely pay my rent. I was in rehab centers. I was in a rehab center. I did other types of treatment, but I was in a rehab center where my roommate was a prostitute. I couldn't even pay my rent. So I stopped being stuck in survival mode. I stopped constantly worrying about money. I stopped being on that hamster wheel, working hard but never breaking through. Looking at my bank account going, why? And what I did is I started to activate my energy. I learned what my unconscious dominant feeling was. And I became an energetic match to my dream. And I will tell you, when I did that, things started to change for me. I am so excited that you're all here with me, and you can tell like how much I love this. Being able to shift my mind and my body out of survival and into creative life energy, my whole world changed. Found the love of my life. Being able to like love myself exactly where I was at. I didn't have to be better. I didn't have to know more. I didn't have to fix everything. I just accepted myself and loved Mary Lou. Loved the alcoholic Mary Lou. Loved all the parts of Mary Lou. And so this is what I teach inside of Unstoppable You. And this really is the key to changing your effing life, to stepping into abundance, to stepping into success, to stepping into happiness, into a fulfilled life, into more money. And I will tell you, most people don't know how to shift into this. They stay stuck, hustling, hoping, looking for that next strategy that's going to save them, instead of rewiring your inner patterns, your beliefs. There is no way around this work. You can try. I see people try all the time. I see people who come to my challenges, challenge after challenge, hoping that this information is going to change them. And it is. Many of you have had shifts, and there's more work to do. There's more work to do. So today, I'm doing what I call the first invitation into Unstoppable You Now. And tomorrow I'm going to have Tammy Allo come, whose life is, she just did a challenge. She's doing programs. She did this challenge, this 4-day challenge in September. And her life completely took off after joining Unstoppable You. And she can tell her story tomorrow. Blair, he might come and hang out with us next week. He went from 5K months to 13K months. He's now at 19K months. You saw Ash yesterday. She's actually doing artwork for famous celebrities. I wanted to ask her yesterday, but I wasn't sure. We hadn't talked about that. So I just kept it kind of vague. Elise is here. I don't know if she's still on the call. I remember when I met Elise summertime, and she seemed sad. She seemed sad with her life. And today, like she did Unstoppable You, and now she's in my membership. Today, she is a woman on fire, living her best effing life right where she's at, still creating change, still taking the steps to grow and expand. So I hope that you love today. I'm going to do some coaching here in a moment, but I want you to know that Unstoppable You Now, it is the missing piece to your transformation, to most people's transformation, because we don't do surface level strategies. I'm not telling you just to focus on your end scene. Okay. I've done 2 manifestation programs where I was like, oh, it's okay. I learned what I do different. I learned that I'm not just giving you the information. I want you to be embodied. I learned that this is about healing, whole self healing. This is about rewiring. This is about becoming the most unstoppable version of you. So I'll talk more about it tomorrow. I do want to give you some information because if you're a hell yes, I want to share with you really quickly, and then we'll go into coaching. When we start, what the cost is, and everything else, because I know that you have questions. So let me go ahead and bring that up. And Michelle, if you are able to say yes, you can see the screen share, but also I'm going to change, I'm going to not screen share, the slide deck, but also I'm going to switch pages, and I want to make sure that everybody can see the next page. So here are some of the people I worked with. I think I need to do a better job at like sharing all the incredible people that I've worked with. I don't know if Lauren's on this call or not. You know, she has been in Parks and Rec. Jen Cohn, she's starred in Chippendales. I've just worked with the most incredible people. So let me make sure. Unstoppable You. You can put it. Oh, I know. It won't switch. It won't switch though, Beth. I've had problems. Okay. So I'm on the next screen. It says Unstoppable You is a 10-week coaching program. It's a rewiring system. I take you through the steps on how to rewire your mind and your body so that you can have the confidence, so that you can take the aligned action, so that you can create 6 or 7 figure success that you deserve. I'm going to switch screens. Here's a picture of me, 16 cents. It's a true story. I took a picture of this because I always wanted to remember this moment because I knew I wasn't going to stay there. So when do we start? I want to make sure everybody can see this. We kick off March 24th. That's when the doors will open to Unstoppable You. Our first coaching call is April 1st. Our first embodiment session. So we do coaching, and then we do a separate embodiment session, 2 different calls. You do not have to be, you don't have to come to all the calls, but I don't just give you the information, I teach you how to become embodied. So those are 2 different calls. The coaching calls on April 1st. The embodiment session is on April 3rd. They are at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I have here, it's not mandatory to attend the calls. And oops, I want to share with you. There are bonuses that I am offering. There is the mind movie, the fear removal audio training, the commitment masterclass. And let me just share with you really quickly, and we'll talk more about this tomorrow, but this is just my first invitation. So we do modules inside of the program. Every week you have a module, a training that I take you through on your dream, on your identity, on your emotions, on your habits, on money, on actions. We do weekly coaching, weekly embodiment, weekly accountability. This is the secret sauce. We do accountability. And then there's the most incredible community. And so what you get when you enroll is you get a video course, you get customized PDFs, you get a community that I already talked about, you get weekly blocks, breakthrough coaching calls with me. This is no joke. If you've seen me coach, you know. If you've been coached by me, you know. If you have not had a chance, you definitely want to hop on. And you get lifetime access to everything. So the investment, this is what I was charging, $3,997, although the value is higher, but your investment today is $1,497. And I'm going to be really honest with you. I sat with this because this program is worth so much more. And I know that I attract a lot of people in this program who are struggling with money. And that's why I'm making it affordable. And this is chocked full of value. I have taken a $15,000 program that didn't come close to this. I have taken a $3,000 program on somatics, on nervous system, that doesn't come close to what I'm going to offer you inside of Unstoppable You. And that is, I believe in enrolling people into their dreams. And that's what I want for you. So $1,497, there's payment options. You can do a 2-pay option. You can do a 6-pay option. And for those of you who say yes and know that this is right for you, there's a fast action bonus. This is only good for 24 hours. And $100 off. So you get the full 10-week program for $1,397. And it's only good, it'll expire. By the time we come back tomorrow for our final day, the $100 will no longer be effective. So if you know you want to do this, you get $100 off. Okay. Last but not least, there's a ultra fast action bonus. The first 5 people who join get a 45-minute call with me. This is worth $1,000. I haven't even told you who I've worked with. I forget. There's so many things I forget. Yeah, I've worked with the most incredible people, celebrities, comedians. So they pay some big bucks to work with me. So this is valued at $1,000. But for the first 5 people who sign up for Unstoppable You will get a 45-minute call with me so that we can look at how to get you to 6-figure success fast. And yeah. And then for those of you who have questions, I am offering a clarity call. It's just a 20-minute call where we can talk about Unstoppable You and if it's right for you. Okay. Before I go, I do remember this, and I can't believe I actually do. Oh, and there's Klarna. So there's different ways to pay for this. There's homework. This is going to go out in the replay email that everyone will get. But there is homework, and it's for tomorrow. It's to watch My Magical Bank Account. And there's the link. So team, Michelle, if you're able to put that in. There's also a podcast that I would love for you to listen to. It's my most downloaded podcast episode, and you will get a lot from it. So I want you, if you can, to listen to the podcast episode. I want you to be able to watch Your Magical Bank Account. I think you'll have a lot of fun with this one. I had a lot of fun delivering this live. And so then, and then tomorrow. So I just want to say thank you for hanging out with me today. And what's your biggest takeaway from today? Share with me your biggest takeaway. Your biggest takeaway. Did you have fun? Did you learn a lot? Was this incredible? I know I get to see people typing. The PDF will go in the email. I think this is enough information. Thank you, though. Okay, so Victoria says to have compassion for myself and towards my family. Beautiful. Beautiful. Biggest takeaway. And then we'll move into coaching. One person is going to be coached today. You're welcome, Anika. Oh, so Elise says, growing with Mary Lou's is knowledge, support, love, and give it to yourself. Every call is something to grow with. Thank you, Elise. Okay, so Christine says, go easier on myself. I have empathy. I can have it for everyone else. Why not me? Yes. Yes, Beth, you got it. Yay. I'm glad this was amazing. Yes, Beth, I knew it would land for you. I knew you were probably just going whoosh. Okay. So I would love to do coaching with somebody who hasn't been coached by me before yet. If that's you, raise your hand. One person. And team, thank you for putting the link in the chat to the sales page. I appreciate that. Yes. You're welcome. Christine says, I see the emotion and the heart in you. Yep. She knows. This is how I show up. Okay. And it's okay with me if new people have not had an opportunity for coaching. If you want to be coached, you can raise your hand. And the icon for raising your hand is down at the bottom. Okay. So it's okay. It's all right. I know it's what it's like. Okay, Olga. Let me go ahead and okay, Olga, I believe you can talk and you might be able to see. Yeah, you should be able to see your camera if you want to turn your camera on.
Hello.
Hi, Olga.
Hello, you've been coaching me before, and I remember this precious moment.
Yeah. So tell me what happened. Yeah, were you able to implement what I coached you on last time?
I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah. So let's start there because and I love seeing you and you look beautiful in your pink against I love the picture behind you. Yeah. Because I see this a lot, right? Where a lot of beautiful souls come to my challenges and then they get coached. And then so what showed up for you? What do you think showed up for you? And you don't have to remember like exactly the coaching call, but just from the last time that we connected or that, you were on the challenge.
Some family stuff, yes.
Oh, okay.
Some ancestral patterns.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell me, what question do you have, or where would you love some coaching?
Well, I think I'm ready to experience more wealth and love and abundance and joy. And I'm ready to get unstuck. I just realizing that I'm still somewhere stuck.
Yeah.
Because the outcomes as a evidence from
Yeah.
the past still there.
Yeah.
And my bank account is like, I screenshotted it today because I thought, no, that's the last time I see that.
It's so good. Yes, you're done. You're done.
Really? That's it. Bye-bye.
You're done. I love that, Olga. Congratulations. Because what you're doing is you're choosing to be done and you're choosing to move forward. Congratulations. Beautiful. Beautiful. So you wanted to see your bank account change and you deserve that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember I was like learning that. I deserve that. Yes. So tell me, like, where do you find yourself getting stuck when it comes to creating more wealth?
I feel that probably it's some kind of lost confidence.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I'm trying to pull it back, and it's like this really like a balloon with really small string attached that I'm almost like, I touch it, I know it's there, but then it's like, poof,
Yeah.
gone again.
Yeah. So it's like a balloon. It's like a small string. You pull it and then
it's like, I know it's here. I have that confidence, and it's like I'm applying it, and then it's like,
then it's gone. Okay.
Where is it?
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you. Tell me what you believe about pulling the balloon and then it's gone. Now, I know that this is not about the balloon. What do you really believe about money? It's almost like,
It's a mix.
go ahead.
It's a mix of beliefs, and I had different evidences.
Yeah. One of them is I know that you know it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you see the string.
Yeah. I know it's there. I know it's available. I know I'm capable. I know it's deserving. And I know
Yeah.
it has to be easy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah. Yeah.
for me as an experience.
And it's not easy because
my past evidence showing that it wasn't easy for me, and maybe as well for others around me.
Yeah. So you know this because I already said it in the chat, but what we do is we believe our past more than we believe in our future. Does that make sense? This is for everyone. So you know you're capable, you know it's available, you know it's there, but my past evidences mean what? What does it mean?
Mean that somehow I didn't figure out how to either attract consistently, easily, be open for it, not to push away.
Yeah. So because you didn't figure it out, that means what?
That whatever comes to my mind, my one part, it's like maybe that, but they straight away another part is like, no, it's not truth. So I cannot even
Yeah.
say, because they are things that popping in, and then it's like, no, it's
Yeah.
not true.
Yeah. Yeah. So pretty common, because you have, you have your conscious mind that goes, or, there's a part of you that goes, no, that's not true. But there's another part of you that's like, yes, it is. Or,
No, if I look for evidence, I can find at least
yeah.
100.
Yeah. So because you didn't figure it out, what does that mean?
I may never figure it out.
Yeah. So what's your energy?
And then why would I need to spend that energy and time on figuring it out? Because I'm never going to figure
That's
it
right.
out.
That's right. That's your energy.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I know. Good job. Good job. This is how we stay stuck. I always do this, the hamster wheel, because it's like I was running fast, going nowhere. So, is it really true that you will never figure it out? Now, hold on. Let's pretend the past doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it really true that you will never?
So.
Yes. Because
There's lots of evidence that people figure out, because I figured out
yes.
Other things in life.
Yes.
Because when my 6-year-old came and looked around, she was impressed and she was proud of me.
Aww. Yeah.
She was like, wow, really?
Oh, I love that.
You're driving a car.
Yes.
You
Oh,
have 4 children. Oh my God. And this is your home and garden and an apple tree.
so good. Yeah. So one thing I want to point out to you, it's brain based. Okay. So it means that you've taught your brain, you've trained your brain. It's not your fault. You learn this to focus on what you don't have. Okay. So where your focus is not on the evidence the evidence that supports what you want. Your brain is focused on the evidence of whatever, failure, regrets, all those kinds of things. So part of this really is about, this isn't going to fix the beliefs, but part of this is about how do I focus my brain, teach my brain, train my brain with the evidence that I do have in my life. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there's so much I don't talk about, but inside of Unstoppable You, the first module is called Brain Training 101, because most people don't have trained their brains on lack, on mistakes, regret. That's a big one. I'm not saying you have that, but so this is the brain. Now let's look at the beliefs. Okay. Because what do you really believe? You said it. Why should I'm never going to figure it out. Why do you believe that? Besides the evidence.
Because it's safe.
There you go. It's safe for me.
Because if I try and I fail again,
yes,
that's going to be another evidence that it's not working.
Good. Oh, Olga, you're ready. You've done a lot of work. You have done a lot of work. I can tell. In some ways, you remind me of Tammy, who's going to come and speak tomorrow, because Tammy is very spiritual. And she was like, this is what you teach is the missing piece. And she understood it, and she's changing. because you could do all kinds of spiritual healing. You can do healing after healing after healing and still be in your old identity. Does that make sense? Got goosebumps. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So, so it's safe for me to not try.
Yeah.
It's safe for me to focus on the evidence of failure or whatever it is. It's safe for me to what?
To stay on just enough.
Yeah.
It's safe for me not to raise above, because that may mean also lots of other changes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And we could keep going, right? It's safe for me to stay the same. It's safe for me to self-sabotage, whatever. I mean, we could just keep going on.
Mm.
And now you know that your body has become, so you've got your brain focused on the evidence that you of, it's like that you would of the evidence that doesn't serve you. Then you have your body that craves what? What feelings?
It used to be craving feelings of all the negative feelings that
Yes. Yes. Good. So you have your mind, then you have your body. This is what I mean by living in the past. Because it's all based on that.
Yeah.
So, what is it that you really want, Olga?
I want more than enough financially. I want ease. I want joy. I want connection. And when I was writing all of that, I have all of that. Not all of that, most of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Is it enough? I'm just curious.
But
Like,
that's exactly, it's I think this what came to me, but that's still very intellectual.
mm-hmm.
It's not how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
That yes, it feels like it's not enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At the same time, as you said to me, that because I am focusing on that lack,
Mm-hmm.
I'm focusing on what is not there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm aware now in my head.
Yeah.
How to shift that feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Beautiful. Because we can learn to have a lot and still feel like it's not enough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And I see and observe evidence of that
mm-hmm.
also.
Yeah.
And that's also where the question comes, what's the point then?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
If I'm not going to change that, if I'm not going to change that inside of me, however I raise my level, it's still going to be not enough.
Yeah.
And my 6-year-old came today here and she looked around. Wow, what are you even knowing about?
Yeah. Yes. And I totally get it. I totally get it. So part of go ahead.
It makes me a bit sad about that.
Yeah.
It's like, then at what point?
Yeah. Yes.
You feel enough.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm not saying that this is you at all, but what I find is that a lot of people still, it's like I've worked with, uh, the last famous comedian that I worked with, huge, and he still felt unfulfilled because things don't fill the things don't we think more money, we think more success, we think these things, and I want you to have these things, but when you're like, how do I want to say this, but as you create your new identity, you create your new beliefs, you clean up the past, you heal the wounds that are still maybe, haunting you, not just you, but just, are there. And as you create these things, you shift into this energy of, wow, my life is so effing amazing. I work from more than enough. And then you attract more of it, the stuff, because you don't need it to define your worth. You don't need it unconsciously to prove to yourself. Olga, I grew up wanting to feel so important. That was my thing. I want to be important too. I want to be important. And so when I first started my business, I felt important. I was like, oh, but that's not real. What's real is the journey of loving yourself. Now, I can say that to you. I know you've done a ton of work around this, okay? It's around self-acceptance. It's around not making yourself wrong. It's around just knowing that where you are is exactly where you should be. Most people, where they are is not where they want to be. So we fight it. We fight it. And I'm teaching you, and what we do inside of Unstoppable You, and I hope that you will join us. What I'm teaching you is you can have these things because you want them, and that's fun and exciting, and you don't need them. Does that make sense? You don't need it. You would love it, but you don't have the needing energy anymore. I need these things so that I can prove to myself that I matter, that I'm enough, that I'm lovable, that people want to be around me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Well, because we're so alike.
Yeah.
Okay. So that tells me already I know so much about your childhood already based on what we've shared, what you shared with me. So the journey, what I have found is that, and there's more, it's like we need to look at your beliefs. Because for me, what you first said, I was like, oh, she can see that it's available, but she can't have it. Why? Or, she's just about to, and pff, the balloon's gone. Why?
Because it's probably like a child that it touched, it's hot, and you don't want to touch that
Yes.
thing.